Hi, you're watching History in Small Scale. I'm Gary Tangeman, and this is an introduction to Scenes of the Old West, which is a video depicting some of the classic historical scenes from the days of the Old West. And as you watch this video, it begins with a band of desperados riding into a small, poor Mexican village that will remind you of the Magnificent Seven. And so there's a shootout in that little village, and as the scenes move through the video, you'll find a number of pictures that will depict events from history and from Western movies. We move from the Magnificent Seven to the James Gang attempting to rob the bank in Northfield, Minnesota. And you remember, if you know a bit about history, that the bank's vault was on a timer and they were not able to get it open in time, and so the gang was shot up. Many of them were killed as they limped their way back to Missouri. That scene will be followed by a cattle drive. What's a Western without a cattle drive and dust along the way? And from there we go to the gunfight at the OK Corral between the Earps and Doc Holliday and the Clanton and McLaury gang. Well, before we put that together, we had the opportunity to actually visit Tombstone on one particular weekend. We had a family that was in our church, and they were direct descendants of the Clanton family. And so we spent a weekend reliving the days and events of Tombstone and the gunfight at the OK Corral. And then, of course, you can't have a Western without having a stagecoach being robbed, and so we've included that. And then also a wagon train that comes under attack from Sioux Indians. And then we have a Western town. And in the Western town, you're going to see people bustling about, and there are some fights that break out. And if you watch very closely, you're going to see the appearance of Clint Eastwood from one of his spaghetti westerns is going to show up, and he's in a gunfight. And the interesting thing about this Western town, it's made up of a couple of things. First of all, some buildings that we've recreated, but also you're going to see some buildings that are really nothing more than a photograph, but it fools the camera because we have them situated in such a way that it will look like a continuation of the town. But these are actually photographs of literal ghost town buildings found in Bodie, California. And when we were on a vacation, we went to that little ghost town and were able to take some pictures and then have added those to enlarge the size of the town. Well, the video ends up with a final little skirmish between cavalry troops and Apache Indians. So I hope you'll saddle up and enjoy this video, Scenes of the Old West.